Anthony, thank you very much indeed. Yes, welcome along to Kempton. Somewhat of a rarity on a Saturday evening. Next Saturday afternoon here, it's Lanzarote Handicap Hurdle Day, so a very competitive afternoon of action next week. But tonight, it's all about the poly track and some very competitive action to look forward to as well, as Rachel has alluded to, featuring two Class 3 handicaps a little bit later on the card. One is part of the London Mile Series and one part of the London Sprint Series. So lots to enjoy there. Going to start looking at the 6:45, pretty competitive stuff. Like Rachel, I can't wait to see Top Secret back at Kempton. He just loves it here, and it was a really emphatic success last time. I think he'll take all the beating once again, despite a rise in the weights. It is a slightly more competitive race for him to take on, though, because the likes of Court of Session, who was also winner last time at Chelmsford, and Thales Velvarere, who has been extremely consistent on this surface in recent weeks, are also taking him on. What about the sprint race at 7:15? That's over 6 furlongs. Another Class 3 handicap. Bosch, a very smart 2-year-old you might remember back in the day. Hasn't all gone to plan since, but it was a good third last time. Back in the right direction. He just about heads the market for that one. Blind Beggar and Rocking Ends are two I think got decent each-way squeaks in that one too. A couple of interesting novice races as well, a maiden then a novice, the 7-furlong novice featuring Lessay, who was a pretty impressive well-backed winner here just before Christmas. David Probert rides him. He also rides Fire Demon in the maiden. He could have a good night tonight. Runners are parading though in the first race. 5 runners going to post this apprentice handicap. Going to quickly talk about some of these, starting with number 1. That is Ultramarine. He's been in really good form recently for David Evans and Jordan Williams. Just about going down the chute now on the way to post, but he was a good winner last time, and if performing to that level once again, he should have every chance of achieving a similar level in what is probably a weaker race than last time. But he has got to take on a couple of interesting rivals in this one. And if we can get to number 2, that is Bowood, who's been really well backed actually throughout the afternoon, and comes here for Katie Scott. It might well be Katie Scott's first ever runner at this track. Mike Catamol said that might be the case to me a little bit earlier on. He's in the commentary box for us. And good luck to her with Bowood, who's been very consistent in recent weeks. And blinkers, I think, are probably required. They have been used tonight, and I think he just needs to pull out that little bit more to get the win on the board, because he's very consistent with places, but just needs to find that little bit extra. William Pyle on board for Katie Scott. And behind that one is number 3, Renner's Me, for Joe Bradnam and Martin Dunmore, the less experienced riders in this contest, but looking forward to seeing what he can produce on this filly, who's definitely going to have to rediscover some kind of form. She's been in the doldrums a bit recently, but down to a better handicap mark, so you're going to have to hope that she can produce something a little more lively this evening. I actually quite like Conquest of Power, who I haven't seen in the paradery for this one. Ollie Timms and Mark Usher teaming up with that one. I think this is the trip for him, and he should be able to produce a nice power pack finish up against Ultramarine and Bowood. The other one is Lady Marinara, Branna Wilkie and Carl Burke, who I think might just be up against it. So the 5 runners going to post then on the way to the start for this opening contest over 7 furlongs, an apprentice handicap. Anthony, thank you very much indeed. Well, Bowood is the subject of quite a significant market move now. So a little bit earlier on in the day was 9-4 and is now, as you can see there from the rolling graphic at the bottom of the screen, 5-4, ahead of Ultramarine at 7-4, and then Conquest of Power 11-4. So this is going to be a long journey made worthwhile if Bowood wins for trainer Katie Scott, who has travelled many miles with this horse, and the first time blinkers are employed. So looking forward to seeing how that well-supported Bowood gets on ahead of this one. First couple going into the stalls. It's a very chilly evening here at Kempton tonight. You always know it is when you can see your own breath fogging up the area. That is exactly what's happening. But lots to enjoy and 7 races to warm the heart, this being the first of them. The last couple going forward, one of those is Bowood and the other is Conquest of Power. A very warm welcome to Mike Cattermole tonight.
And to you too as well, Tom, and everybody at home. Welcome. 5 runners all set and off and racing. And they came out quite nicely as well then, and just restrained Renesmee for this RacingTV.com Apprentice Handicap, Class 5/7. Lady Manyara in her first-time visor takes them down the back straight and leads by a couple of lengths then to the Scottish Raider. Bowood racing in second, 2 lengths away the black jacket of Ultramarine. And then back in fourth place is Conquest of Power, who's just ahead then of Renesmee, who's on the inside rail as they take the turn out of the back straight and move down the side of the course towards the 4 furlong marker. A nice level pace being set here by Brandon Wilkie on board Lady Manyara. Bowood poised to strike in second for William Pyle, and then Ultramarine and Jordan Williams 2 lengths behind that one. Then follows Conquest of Power, Oliver Timms in the pink jacket on the outside, Renesmee and Joe Bradnam in the red cap on the rail as they straighten up now for the judge with just 2.5 furlongs left to cover here in this RacingTV.com Apprentice Handicap. Shaken up Lady Manyara. Here's Bowood on the near side. Over on the far side though, Ultramarine is cruising into contention under a very confident looking Jordan Williams. He's barely touched him and he's absolutely cantered to the front here. Ultramarine, he's taken such a while to find his winning thread, but he's found it in some style now, just driven out to make sure he's going to win again. Ultramarine, too good for Jordan Williams and Dave Evans. Bowood, another good run in second. Conquest of Power and Renesmee, and then Lady Manyara.
Ultramarine, ultra-emphatic in the first race. He capsizes his rivals in some style there, sticking on very nicely to the line, and travelled like a dream. Much better than the well-supported Bowood back in second, with Conquest of Power possibly too far back as the race unfolded to make any telling impression. But the winner is Ultramarine and returns 9-4 in the end. Quite a big drifter for Jordan Williams and David Evans. That's Jordan's 18th winner of his career, and well done to both he and David Evans, and indeed to this improving progressive 5-year-old who's clearly found his mojo in recent months. That's now 3 wins from his last 4 outings, and look at the way he's coasted into this. Bowood was given a lovely ride really by William Pyle, always in the right place at the right time in second, but had no answers to the finishing kick, or not even kick, just finishing engine really of Ultramarine, who's proved to cut above these rivals in this grade really, and hasn't had to work too hard, has he, Jordan Williams, to get the job done here. A smooth success once again for Ultramarine, and is in a really fine vein of form at the moment.